Kia ora mara koutou tātou. Okay, so with great pleasure, Kowhiti, I want to announce, I want to say that Kowhiti Atarau is here. Kowhiti Atarau being the collection from the gathering in 2013 with a couple of subsequent essays put into it. A collection of photographs as well as a collection of essays. And I personally am delighted. I think it's, I'm the editor, I don't have a contribution in it, but I'm just delighted by it. I just think it's a book for Aotearoa really, and for the world. I mean, I think the book has on its cover Roland Tangen from New Mexico, and there's a certain international flavour or even a certain universality about it in the sense that the issues of Indigenous people as reflected in dance, as shown in dance around the world are seen. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with this book, and we plan to launch it at an art gallery in Auckland later. We had a minor launch last week just as the book came out at the Sai Gon, where I was very, very keen and happy to give it to Lisa, the program director at the radio station Kowhiti FM that I work for, have worked for 15 years now, and because it reflected the dance hour. And a big shout out, I suppose, to all the people who listen to the dance hour around the world. There's sometimes there's some in-depth things on it, but mostly I really try on the dance hour just to give a kind of catalogue of events, you know, what's happening where who's where and so forth, particularly in New Zealand, but elsewhere as well. But there's no question that my interest in this area has been sustained by the radio station in that they've backed the dance hour. So we now look forward to the launch, and we look forward to the reception of the book. We here and in America and in the UK, because we have contributions from the UK and from the USA. Particularly from Declan Patrick in the UK, as well as from Roland in the USA. So, well, in New Mexico, and I guess reflecting, it was a very, very good piece by Roland, which I've placed in at the beginning, because it gives a very, very good history of North American Indigenous dance, which is obviously bigger than the USA. It takes in Canada and Mexico, as well as other areas, and to some extent these national cartographical exercises or whatever they are simply overlap the kind of thing that Roland is talking about. But there's no question that history, for me, really sets up a frame of reference that the rest of the book can relate to. Okay, so what it does is also for the two presses. Well, first of all, before I get to the two presses, I just want to do a big thank you to everybody at Freedom Print and Design, particularly Gabrielle and Belinda, who have done such a magnificent job. I'd also like to thank Paul Moon and his group at the AUT, because Kowhiti Atarau is a print version of a collection that I edited for the online journal tekaharo.com, and the transition, I believe, this time has been very, very good. It was good last time too. Bearing in mind this is the second book on Kowhiti, and the second book to use a lot of these colour photos, these kind of colour photographs, which are brilliantly put together by a little team consisting of Jenny Stevenson and, of course, Stephen Accord contributing a lot as well, but also with some very, very good photos, particularly the cover photo from the USA, and I attributed them as and when required, I think. What we have here is a culmination from the publishing end of quite a big year. What have we had? We've had Memory, Body and Dance, a collection of essays by me. We've had NRL, collection of essays again by me, and that second collection of essays is of course the one that follows the paragraph by paragraph, one paragraph in Māori, one paragraph in English, that I've been employing in my articles in tekaharo.com and elsewhere over the last 3 to 4 years, 5 years probably. Then we've had the 2 monographs. We've had Paul Moon's monograph on Brahms, and that's a very, very good-looking little monograph. I really like the look of that monograph. The idea being that a Campus Press book is around 200 pages, and a monograph, Campus Press monograph, is around the 100-page mark, or anything up to 100 pages from 50, let's say. And then there's the second monograph, He Tono Mo Te Mātāwai, which is my submission on the Māori language strategy. So it's been a pretty big year, really. I mean, it's much the same as every other year, but it's also a time, I think, for people at Campus Press and Go Press. Go Press, of course, only with 2 titles, Campus Press with around 45, to think about where it's all going. For example, I think in the Go Press case, there's only 2 books in Go Press. One is the first book on Kowhiti, and the next one is the second. But I do think that they are setting a standard in what I call the articulate, for want of a better word, a photo essay. That is, that they are photo essays with lots of essay. So it's not just a photo with so-and-so took this in such a time, and my, what a nice view, or whatever. The whole idea is to have your photo of a high quality, contributed by the likes of Stephen of Court and some of these photographers from offshore that we've got in Kowhiti Atarau, with a very, very high quality, if not to say dense, commentary, and that I think there's a lot in that. I'm not quite sure that this is done as much as it should be in the world. So I'm very happy. Thanks one and all, and I look forward to any commentary on the book.